Welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Aubrey Aquino. Joining me is Marie Jobling. She's the Executive Director with the Community Living Campaign. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
First of all, tell me about your organization and some of its mission.
Sure. The Community Living Campaign is about 8 years old as a San Francisco nonprofit, and we work hard to make sure seniors and people with disabilities can age with grace and support in their own homes and communities.
Tell me about some of the different things you do for them.
So first thing we do is we hire this awesome team of community connectors who are both seniors and people with disabilities themselves, and they work out of their own neighborhood, and with their help we've been able to do computer training classes and food delivery networks. We do connections for healthy aging workshops to help people think about how to build their own support networks, and a host of other things that arise from what people in the neighborhood would like to do.
Well, how important is it that you have these services available for this population in particular?
Well, you know, the way we look at it is that people get a lot of what they need, about 20% from formal services, but the bulk of what people need to be able to leave lives in their own communities, they get from friends, family, neighborhood, faith community, former co-workers. And so we really work with that network of community allies and families to make sure people get what they need and get connected to formal services when they need that as well.
Right, and like you said, you offer many different services, and it's some of their other peers, I guess, in their specific communities that are helping them out. And so that's probably a nice way to build that community for them, right?
Exactly. I mean, we look at this in terms of everybody has something to contribute. So it's not we help people and that's it, but we really look for people to help each other. And there's really nothing that an individual can't do. I mean, some people can't do lots of things, but I mean, in terms of being able to give back, people can tell their story. They can make phone calls. They can help connect us with a neighbor. They can tell us the history of their neighborhood that will help us grow something awesome.
We talk about being connected. One of the ways that many of us stay connected these days is through using a computer, using the internet, and that's a service that you provide to these aging citizens that you might not think about.
Sure. We do classes in 18 different centers across the city, including adult day health centers, and we help people learn whatever it is they want to know. We do formal classes about things like Skype and Facebook, but we also just sit one-on-one with folks and help them figure out how to turn on the computer, how to not be afraid of breaking things when they actually decide to go online and surf for the things that they're interested in. And, you know, I think what we've learned is that for a lot of folks, learning these kinds of things in a computer lab is the place to start, where there's support and some, kind of skilled guidance. But then ideally they take it on home and they practice in between the sessions in a senior center lab.
What's some of the feedback that you get from the people you're helping?
Oh, folks are very appreciative, and like I say, because many of our trainers are peers, it helps folks get over that initial sort of anxiety about getting onto this new format, trying these new things, and it's hard in the beginning whenever you learn something new. So we help people get over that hump. And I think the other thing that we're getting feedback on is that, just recently Comcast has started a pilot here in San Francisco to give low-income seniors 62 and older low-cost access to the internet. That's really important because up until now, folks really have not been able to, a lot of them, to afford that access. So all they have is when they come to a lab, and then there's a place when they can't come to a lab anymore.
Right.
So they need to have it at home.
And how do you get some of these people involved? You said they're low income, so are you matched up with them?
So we have a pretty good network in the neighborhoods that we work, and so we have a newsletter that goes out widely. So we use our newsletter and our connections in the neighborhood to get the word out.
All right, great. Well, we want to thank Marie Jobling, the Executive Director for the Community Living Campaign, for joining us here on Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Aubrey Aquino. You have been watching Comcast Newsmakers. We'll see you next time.